Hello and welcome back to another reading. Let's go ahead and see what is being reflected back in your auric field today. Go ahead and take a look at your protagonist energy. Okay, what may be overlaying your situation at this time? What may we see from the past as well as the immediate future that pertains to your situation? Thank you. And what about what may be rumbling right underneath your consciousness as well as what might be more readily on your mind at this time? Okay. Let's go ahead and build out the staff here for you. What advice may be helpful? Okay. External influences, hopes and fears, and outcome energy. Oh. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we have. So you may notice that a good amount of your cards are face down. So that indicates to me that there is a lot of things that are bubbling up to the surface for you. Wow. Okay, so protagonist energy, this symbolizes you. And it looks like you're really sitting in a place of victory, of being celebrated and being recognized for your accomplishments, for your work, and seeing all of these people around you who are like cheering you on, who recognize you, even the horse. You may have heard me mention this in past readings, but whenever I see that horse looking back, it's like, man, everyone around you is recognizing you, even the horse. So what a beautiful place to meet you at. When it comes to what may be overlaying your situation or what you may be encountering at this time, it seems to be related to the element of water. How cool that it's also the embodiment of water. So this indicates to me a lot of wisdom. It goes to show like how far you have come in your own internal exploration of who you are and who you understand yourself to be. So maybe this is finding you at a place where you're kind of like coming out of deep contemplation, having just come to this place of being able to hold this chalice with like sacred codes, sacred insight about not only your own emotions and what you're experiencing, but also the emotions of your lineage. Let's see what is in the past that may be influencing this victory and gleaning of wisdom for you at this time. So a lot of hard work and a pause with trying to embark on this journey related to fire. So the Seven of Pentacles, to me, it symbolizes, yes, a lot of hard work, but also a lot of patience. Because you can see this character here looking there at all of the pentacles. And it's like, man, like I've been working so hard and I see these things starting to come up and starting to blossom, but they're not ready. They're not ripe yet. And so I have to continue to be patient and trust, right? Whereas this Page of Wands, I mean, typically this would signal the next stage after the 10 of Wands, right? So it's like that completion of the cycle, and it's like, okay, now I'm ready to go into mastery. So the Page of Wands in the upright would signal that, like, okay, I am ready to take what I've learned from those 10 wands, or the 10 stages related to fire. I'm going to take that wisdom and I'm going to go on this adventure, and I'm going to really pursue the mastery of this lesson here. So this signals to me that you are moving into the next tier, but there's a little bit of resistance there. And that might be related to a lot of the work that you are doing and just like trying to grind it out, trying to remain hopeful, and also continue to have faith, right? That things are going to work out. Sometimes even when we see like that there is progress on what we're doing, sometimes it could still like not feel satisfying, you know what I mean? And perhaps that's kind of where you were before. It's like, man, like I'm grinding, I'm putting in all this energy and effort, but like I want this fruit now, you know, like I'm hungry, I want this fruit now. Well, we see in your immediate future the Lovers card, so that feels like a real blessing here. Like, and it's interesting too, seeing how like your energy, this Six of Wands energy, is moving towards this Lovers card. So this like divine union, this divine juncture. So this doesn't necessarily have to be like you and another person, although it can be, right? Like it could be you and another person, like whether that's, you know, a platonic relationship, a family relationship, a romantic relationship, but it could also be like you meeting a counterpart within yourself. Like I like to see this as like this coming together of the divine contraction and the divine expansion, the divine forward momentum and the divine receiving, right? And so this could also be a meeting of those energies within yourself as you prepare to manifest something into your life. Or this could also be like a divine opportunity, like a pairing of yourself with an environment where you feel like you can continue to feel seen and heard and have this wisdom that you've gleaned really celebrated as well. Regardless of what this might be, it feels like it'll be really sustainable for you. Like that's the feeling that I'm getting with it. Like it feels really well balanced. Let's go ahead and take a look at what might be more on your mind at this time. Wow. Okay, so 2 major arcana cards, and both of them in the reverse. And how interesting too that we have the Devil card in reverse, and you see these 2 figures here that are kind of similar to like the Lovers card, right? But instead of the Devil here that's right above, it's an angel. So with both of these in the reverse though, it's signaling to me that you are really aware of how your shadows may show up, you know, the ways that you may cope or escape from stress, perhaps stress related to these signifiers of the past, right? Like all of this hard work and real difficulty in like continuing to feel that passion, that momentum to keep going. So really like grinding that out here. So recognizing like, oh, when I'm really stressed, these certain coping mechanisms may show up, some ways that I try to, you know, feel a sense of control, feel a sense of power, try to escape what I'm experiencing. And then also with the Chariot in reverse, you know, I often hear that people view this card as like forward momentum really quick. But for me, it feels like an arrival card. Like it feels like, you know what, like I've traveled all this way, I have arrived. Like look at me and all of the things that I'm carrying with me. You know, this is also associated with the sign of Cancer. So it's like carrying your whole home on your back, in your shell, and everyone is there to see it. It's slow moving, but it's really powerful. It's deliberate. And just seeing how this person is just standing there and both of the sphinxes like right in front, just laying down. It feels like an arrival card. So with this in the reverse, it may signal that when this was in the upright for you, and maybe more of these coping strategies or escape mechanisms were present, that might have made it more difficult to feel like you could really settle into being seen. Because again, with your protagonist energy, this is a card of like really being seen right now. And being seen is really vulnerable. I mean, even looking at these cards, right? The Lover's card, bare authenticity. And the same with the Devil card is bare authenticity. So there's a lot of vulnerability here in your spread. And so that might be something that you're reflecting on and like, wow, I think how my shadows have shown up for me has made it really hard for me to feel seen. Maybe that vulnerability has kind of triggered some shame or like this desire to want to like pull, withdraw, hide from others. And it sounds like you're kind of working through that in your mind right now, which is really incredible. That work is really hard to do, especially with things related to shame. But we see here what is going to be rumbling towards the surface for you is such a beautiful blessing. Oh my gosh, another major arcana. So far you've got what, 4 that we can see, really signaling that there are a lot of big shifts happening for you in your life right now. So the Empress card signaling a lot of fertility, again, manifestation. There's so much abundance with this card. And then underneath, wow, the Page of Pentacles. So you taking this brand new step in the realm of material gain. So you are ready to start living your purpose on purpose and really creating heaven on earth. So meaning bringing your manifestations into this realm. You're ready. And look at all of the gold. The gold from both of these cards. That's incredible. Let's take a look at your advice card. So with this in the overlay, to me it signals this is going to be a really big theme for you, whether that's advice today or even moving forward. Like it seems like you're working really hard. And again, with like looking at your past card of the 7 of Pentacles, and here's the 8, the next one in the series, right? This goes to show that you are putting in so much work, and it sounds like you're going to continue to put in that work, which makes sense if you're going to be seen for your work, right? And it sounds like you have an audience who really wants to see you shine. So that's really incredible. So with this in the overlay, it makes me also think about that there needs to be an awareness of both the lights and shadows of this, right? So the lights is like really leaning into like your passion, feeling this like form of, well, not even satiation, because you're going to continue to pursue it. So continuing to feel hungry and passionate and just diving into what you're wanting to, your craft. There's so much euphoria associated with it, but there's also the sense of dysphoria that can happen, right? Where like you lean into it really hard, where you get really burnt out, you're working really long hours, you're not maintaining good boundaries for yourself, you're putting other people or maybe your work before your own needs. So this is inviting you to be aware of this like spectrum of how this energy may show up in your life, and really continue to be intentional with how you engage with your work, because it is so clear here that there are people that are seeing your work and that want to continue witnessing it and celebrating you for it. And so as you navigate this, just continuing to be aware of that whole spectrum of how this energy may show up, and continue to engage in that sense of balance. Now, what may be in your environment that's influencing you at this time? Ooh, okay. So it sounds like there might be some emotional pain in your environment. And it's interesting thinking of emotional pain when this is the sign of air. So this could be a signal of like rumination. So be careful of some rumination that may show up for you, especially when under stress. That can often be like the breeding grounds for when rumination may show up, whether that's related to, perfectionism, or just like really pushing yourself hard to get things done and beating yourself up for not doing it faster or better. This could also be related to comparison, especially with how, again, there's so much vulnerability here, so much like being seen in your bare, authentic self, that this comparison could show up too, and rumination over that, or feeling unworthy. So this being in your environment, this may signal that other people around you could be feeling triggered by your sense of visibility. I think I've mentioned this before, but something that I often share with people in my life is, sometimes our lights can shine so brightly that it illuminates aspects of other people that they're not ready to see yet. And that can be really triggering. So this is an invitation to be aware of how that could be playing out in your life. That being said, if that's the case, know that it's okay to shine brightly. It is okay to be seen. And in fact, your cards are really celebrating you for that. You don't need to dim your light to make other people feel comfortable. I just felt really called to say that. Okay, what might be some hopes and fears? Ooh, a deal gone wrong. With this Lovers card here in the immediate future, okay, here's this like divine juncture, this divine meeting, and it seems like you might have some fears on like, oh no, like what if this is the wrong choice? What if this is something that I'm not supposed to be doing right now? What if this goes wrong? Which kind of reminds me again of this Three of Swords, like this rumination that might occur. It makes a lot of sense to be afraid. Again, when there's like so much visibility, it can feel like there's so much writing on whatever this Lovers card is for you, whatever this divine juncture is. So I just want to validate that it can feel scary, and your cards are signaling a lot of blessings. So this could also be an opportunity to, try and slow down and get in tune with your intuition, as well as your higher self or your guides, your spirit team, whatever you resonate with. This could be a wonderful opportunity to get connected in that way, so that you can receive some guidance and get some reassurance that whatever is meant for you won't miss you, that you are divinely protected. And as long as you continue to take each step with intention and really wanting to live your purpose on purpose, you'll be protected and guided along that way. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at your outcome energy here. What? Wow, I'm literally getting chills. Ooh, yep. Confirmation. And in the overlay. Wow, so many blessings. I mean, with this Emperor card coming out in the outcome energy, I mean, this is Aries energy. This is like, early bird gets the worm. It's so much more fiery than that, but for some reason that's what came to mind. This is the leadership card, the one that rules over all of the embodiments of each element. Like, this is the one that each of those embodiments of element look to for guidance, for support, for leadership. And the fact that you got this in your outcome, as well as its counterpart in like your consciousness, it just goes to show how much this energy is within your orbit at this time. And that's probably like fueling this work that you'll be doing too, and what you're being seen and known for. So the fact that this is an overlay too, and it's a major arcana, again, huge shifts in your life at this time. That is really incredible. I keep getting pulses of chills. I mean, this is just amazing. And even looking at where the eyes are going, I don't know if y'all can see that. It feels like there's a looking at this here too, right? Like there are major blessings coming in for you at this time. And I am just so excited for you. Like this is amazing. Oh my gosh. Well, let's go ahead and see what portal you may be tapping into at this time, especially with all of these major arcana and all of these blessings coming in. Okay. So we have halls of learning, spirit guides, confirmation, great lessons. I mean, even just the term spirit guides, you know, us talking about like this could be a good opportunity to just kind of sink in, recenter, connect. This seems like an invitation for that as well. But let's go ahead and take a look at what this card has in store for you. So page 79 landed on 58, which is the crown chakra upgrade. Ooh. Okay. You are on the path to great learning. Spiritual beings are drawing close to support you. If you are facing challenging or difficult circumstances or have just moved through such a time, you are being called to review what you have learned about yourself. If you're still feeling overwhelmed by a certain event or asking why it happened, call on Source and your guides to reveal to you the pattern, trauma, or wound that has contributed to this challenge. If you aren't experiencing challenging energy, the reason is that you've made huge progress on your spiritual journey, so much so that your perspective has shifted so that you can view every challenge as a window of opportunity. The Halls of Learning Gateway indicates that your spiritual gifts are developing at this time. Oh, such a huge confirmation there. How incredible. Well, thank you so much for doing this work. You're not just doing this for yourself, but you're also doing this for all the versions of you across the quantum, your ancestral lineage, both physical and ethereal, as well as for me and ultimately the collective. So thank you so much for doing this hard work, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.